So Fosi sent me a nice 7th anniversary t-shirt to celebrate their anniversary. Unfortunately, they sent me a 4XL and I'm a medium. Oh, never mind. Maybe next time. A medium next time, Fosi. Maybe a large.
Ow! Right in the kisser.
How the devil are you? Why are you there? Oh, look at this. Ooh, we've got the new Fosi Audio DAC, the ZD3. Now this is, I think, going on sale today. So you're probably going to get about 20 to 30 videos today on your feed with this DAC. So I hope I'm one of the first, okay? This is obviously the best one, right? Don't bother with the rest. What do you want to watch them for? If you see them, ignore them, watch this one. Tell your friends. Right? Right. So, without further ado, let's get this flipping thing out of the box.
Ta-da!
Okay, so this video will probably go out around 9 AM on September the 19th. Now, as you can see here, it says September the 19th Pacific time. So if it's 9 o'clock, going out 9 AM today, Pacific time will be 2 AM. So you'll probably be in bed, you won't be watching this, right? East Coast, so that's Eastern time, be 5 AM in the US. If you're in Australia, you'll be in the evening, maybe having your dinner, you know, putting another burger on the barbie. So maybe around 7 PM, but it's 4 time zones in Australia, so it could be anywhere around 7 PM, give or take an hour or so. Anyway, so that's when it's going to be released. And if you get the early bird 20% promo code, which is this, ANNZD3, you can get 20% off the price of the ZD3 DAC and also off the Sparko's op amps there. Yoink. You also have a chance to get the following bonuses in the ZD3 pre-sale event. 3 pieces JRC 4580D op amps, which I've got in the set that was sent to me. A fridge magnet, which I've got. That'll be going on the fridge, keeping my kids' pictures on the fridge, nice. Custom ZD3 knob, which I've got, and the Volume 20, the Vol 20 wireless volume knob. I've also got that in the pack that I got as well. I'll do a short video review of that at a later date. Anyway, let's have a look what we've got. So it's got the ESS 9039Q2M DAC, XMOS XU316 chip, QCC 3031 Qualcomm Bluetooth chip. It goes up from SBC, AAC, aptX and aptX HD. AAC if you're on iOS. They've got Bluetooth connection, HDMI, ARC, USB optical coaxial, RCA XLR, remote control. That's what, OLED display, and it comes with installed LME 49720. I think that's Texas Instruments op amps. 3 of them there, boink, boink, boink. There's your chips there. Multiple LDO regulators. And there's your chips there. Nothing else to see. I've already mentioned all that nonsense. Ultra low noise, high precision resistors and low drift capacitors. There's the stock op amps there. There's the back of it here with the HDMI arc. There's your trigger out. You can connect that to other stuff with the trigger. I think it shows it further down. It's showing some inputs there. So the Bluetooth, you're going to be getting 24-bit 48 kilohertz PCM. That's probably with aptX HD. USB, you're going to get 32-bit 768 kilohertz PCM and 512 DSD. And the rest of the inputs then, the 24-bit 192 kilohertz coaxial, optical and HDMI ARC. Balanced and single-ended. There's the OLED display. There's a remote control. Now, this is weird, right? Because the remote control I have is very different to this. And is bringing up, the remote I have is bringing up some questions. So I'll compare the remotes in a second. Let me just finish this and I'll show you the remote I've got and compared to the one that's shown here. Potentially it could give a clue to some future releases. Ooh, stay tuned. Right, there's the op amps there. And then it's got different op amps you can use here. Now, I've watched this video. It's actually, I put some headphones on, have a listen to it. You might be able to tell a difference over YouTube. I could tell the difference between a couple of them, but it's enjoyable to watch. You can hear the difference between all these different op amps. And there you are, you can see it with the ZA3. Now it's a perfect companion, fits perfectly with the ZA3. If you've got one of these, you definitely need one of these. Yeah, so, and there it is, you can see the trigger working there, plugged into the ZA3, trigger in, out. So that'll synchronize your devices then. And here, by here, underneath the unit, the DAC, you've got this bypass. So with that switched over this side, I think, so it's off there. So that now it's a DAC and preamp. Pop it over there, boink, and that becomes just a pure DAC. It's no longer a preamp. So basically what that does is said to bypass the volume and supposed to give a more direct quality signal. What does it say here? It shows unaltered audio quality by directly routing the signal, bypassing internal controls for pure sound delivery. So yeah, that bypasses it, turns it into a pure DAC. It'll bypass all the volume controls, whatever, and then you'd have to control the volume with whatever device you connect it to. So if you connect it to the ZA3 will be controlling the volume, or if powered speakers, the volume for the powered speakers would control the volume. You get what I'm saying, yeah? Okay, you get me, yeah? And there it is, partnered with the ZA3. Look, perfect size. Nice to see, perfect size. If you got that, there you go. Right, so here's the remote that I was sent in the box. As you can see, it's a little bit different to the one that was shown on the web page. I'll put the picture of that over here. Boink. And so here we can see you got your volume, skip track, whatever, mute, on, off. There's your dimmer there for your display. Reset button and mode, so that goes through your mode. Okay, a little bit different to the other one, but here's what's interesting is these buttons here. Now I think this, right, so have a look at this. Right, you got ZD3, which is the DAC that it came with. Okay, then the ZP3. What's the ZP3? That hasn't been released yet. What the deuce is going on? And then you got a P4 button there and a BT20A Max button. The plot thickens, eh? Does this mean they got some new releases coming out and they're bringing out this remote so it can control them all? And that's pretty cool, isn't it? And what could they be? So ZP3, right, ZP3. Could that be a power amp? Oh, could it? I don't know. You've got the ZA3, ZD3 and the ZP3. Or is it a ZP3? Could it be a preamplifier? I don't know. What is that about? P4. Now we've already got a P3. That's a preamp with Bluetooth. Could this be an upgraded version of that? A P4? And we've also got the BT20A. At the moment you've got the Pro. Could this be the BT20A Max, if I could say it? Could this be the new update? So there you go. Interesting. And so we watch out for this, and maybe this could be a clue to what's coming next. It's a nice looking device, well made. Like I said before, it goes well with the ZA3. It's got that anniversary button on there, 7, I think that is there. It's one of them volume buttons, or it just goes round and around. So you don't really know exactly where your volume is. But it is what it is, okay? But it's got a good feel to it, feels good, feels nice, okay? And it's got that kind of feel to it. It's got a texture to it, so it doesn't really show up the fingerprints as much as some other devices I've got. For instance, my Duke Audio Q11 DAC there. You'll probably see it more in the sound test. It does show up the fingerprints a little bit more than this does, but I just need to wash my hands a bit more, don't I? It's just one press on, and then you've got your OLED display here. And then you can see the volume. As you can see, there it only goes to a max of 80, not 100. But as you can see, this is going around, so you don't know exactly where your volume is going to be, but you just use the screen. That's easy enough, isn't it? You need to see it. That's what the screen is for. And your display then shows your inputs here, your signal, how much of a signal is coming in, whether it's PCM, Bluetooth and volume. Okay, so really good. It's a long press then to turn it off. Short press, turn it back on again. And then you can also run through. You don't need the remote if you don't have the remote to hand. You can just use the button here, and that goes through your inputs then. It's gone into Bluetooth mode now, trying to pair. What's that? Optical, coax, and HDMI. And then back to USB. Anyway, so as I mentioned briefly just now, I wanted to know how it sounded up against my Duke Audio Q11. And so I've done a direct comparison, and I've got because you know I love a sound test. Oh, I do. And it's going directly out of the DAC into an audio capture device, into the laptop, being recorded by Audacity and saved as a WAV file, high-res file. So when it goes onto YouTube and the YouTube compression, you probably, I know it's YouTube compression, but you will get the best version of the track from the DAC. Now I know there's going to be people out there on their keyboards. Don't bother, okay? On your keyboards going, well, YouTube compression, what's the point of these sound tests?
As I've mentioned previously in your comment section many times, there is no point in doing sound tests on YouTube due to YouTube compression.
So anyway, I'm doing them no matter what you say. So stop putting it in the comment section. Blah, blah, blah. Right, so without further ado, here's the sound test. Have a listen to this. So what do you think of that? Now, there was a difference for me. Sometimes when I do these tests, I can hardly hear a difference at all. But there was a little bit of a difference. And again, I'm talking very small amounts. And this doesn't necessarily mean one's worse than the other. They just sound different. If I had, well, I have got either of these, but if you had either of these, you wouldn't be unhappy with either, okay? They're both very decent. Although I will say that the Fosi audio had slightly more sparkle on the top end. That's the only difference I could really tell. But apart from that, it's pretty much equal. Let me know what you think. I do read the comments, so please let me know what you think in the comment section below. Go on, deal yourself in. Get on there, right? Don't be a keyboard warrior, though. You can if you want, I don't care. YouTube sound tests don't work. Anyway, so all in all, it's a very decent, capable DAC. Perfect partner for the ZD3. And I can highly recommend it. So anyway, that's come to the end of the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't, are you mad? Come on, sort it out. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.